I never thought in the year 2023 we would be saying that an admiral of the U.S. Navy has been memed to death. But that's what I think is happening here, because the recruiters have spoken out since my previous video covering this. If you've not seen that, you should go check it out, because it goes in depth of what this admiral was asking of recruiters, which essentially he was saying the numbers are low and that we're going to need to work 6 days a week in order to make up for the gap of around 6,000 to 7,000 new people coming into the military. And as we've all been discussing on this channel over the past almost 2 years now of this issue, we've seen a dramatic issue in crisis with people joining the military, and there's not enough people out there. Yes, this is a different background. That's okay, because I'm on vacation. I'm still going to grind this video out. Let's just talk about, as the recruiters have risen like a phoenix from the ashes that are coming after this admiral, and they said, we are not going to take it. And I know you're thinking of that song, but it looks like they have been heard, but not by the right person. And I'm going to go through this, as it looks like a first-class petty officer that is on recruiting has actually spoken up in a tactful manner to come after this admiral. This is from Warren Golson. This is his email. He says, "Sir, this is a question constantly on my mind, but with changes coming down regarding recruiting duty and the new incentives for recruits, it is something I can't stop asking myself. Why isn't the issue of retention addressed instead of throwing money at recruits? I imagine if already trained sailors who have been out in the fleet for years were given special reenlistment bonuses, better tuition assistance, better mental health care, etc., there wouldn't be so many getting out, thus keeping the Navy at a healthy fighting number. Therefore, we wouldn't be making all these desperate moves to get new sailors to join. I just feel like it'd be more cost effective to invest in the sailors we already have instead of paying to train new ones. Additionally, here are some other things I believe would assist in combating this quotations recruiting crisis. I'm also very concerned, as many others, on the mental health of our career recruiters. If desperate measures are being implemented to combat sailors joining the Navy at the expense of our recruiters, who will replace the career recruiters who mass exodus? I'm just concerned for the future." And he offers 3 suggestions. He says, the blended retirement system continuation pay. This is the new pay that replaced the old retirement. It says the continuation pay multiplier should be increased. This could help with retention and lessen the burden and need for more recruits if people have an additional reason to stay further. 2, increase in recruiter incentive pay. 3, sea duty pay for recruiters. This has been compared to deployments, and despite being quotation shore duty, has a very similar up-tempo. Curious, what was the overall consensus on this topic? Thank you. So it looks like this was heard by the masses on social media out there, as a bunch of fellow recruiters came to the support of this service member, tactfully coming after this admiral and saying, what are you thinking about this? And he's putting pressure on him, and it looks like that pressure has been heard. Brian Price says, Warren Golson, you actually saved all of naval recruiting with that email. Jesse Garcia says, Golson leading the recruiting rebellion. Look at you making sense. Crying face. And that's because the U.S. Navy has officially released new guidance that they are no longer going to require this 6-day work week, which, by the way, I will add that many recruiters do work 6, sometimes even 7 days a week, because there are members of society looking to join that work during the weekdays, and also people that are in school and things like that. So they have to adjust to that and work on other days that typically people would not want to. USNI says Navy hits pause on 6-day recruiter work week after sailors protest. It says Chief of Naval Personnel Vice Admiral Rick Cheeseman has paused a Navy Recruiting Command order that would have had recruiters work 6 days a week. Navy Recruiting Command ordered a 6-day work week starting July 8th in the latest effort to increase recruitment. The order was met with backlash from sailors, and after feedback from the fleet, Cheeseman put out a statement Friday issuing a pause. The Navy is committed to a work-life balance, according to Cheeseman's statement. It says the reality is we have a projected shortfall, need a healthy pipeline of people enlisting, and need to grow our delayed entry program. Cheeseman said in a statement and says our recruiters are the people who make that happen. We will continue to do everything to support our recruiters, adjust policy when we see an opportunity, and remain focused on ensuring we have a force ready to fight. And says the Navy had more contracts in May than it did the year before. Cheeseman said in the statement, says, when I visit recruiting stations, I'm impressed by the work our recruiters are doing, and it shows in the amount of new contracts, he said. And if you did not pay attention to that entire article, you were not paying attention closely to who was saying what. And that's because that was the Chief of Navy Personnel, which is Vice Admiral Cheeseman. Now, he is a higher ranking than the other admiral that was noted to initially make this decision, which was Alexis A.K. Lex Walker, And he has nowhere been noted on any of these articles to say anything about this, which I almost think this would have came better from him than it did from the Chief of Navy personnel, because now it makes him look like the bad guy, makes the Chief of Navy personnel look like the good guy, because he's the one saying, screw that, sit down, we're not going to listen to what you say, Lex. That's what it sounds like from this. And obviously these are admirals and gentlemen that are going to have, obviously some cordial conversations. I don't think it's telling them sit down, shut the hell up, but I want to say it does have that appearance from the public sphere of this, as you're seeing that this is kind of making him look like a hero and making this other admiral look like the zero. So just putting that out there. This does not come without any repercussions as far as the impact that this first class made, especially on top of that memes that have been shared across social media that have pretty much memed this admiral from Navy Recruiting Command, saying, like, for example, Sarah McLaughlin, you can give one person to the Navy to join in order to save a recruiter for the day. There are things that are doing like that, and they actually reach out to me as well, saying that this page has been created because how much stress has been on recruiting. But the first class that did make this initial email has actually talked about some of the backlash from this, even though people around his peer group are praising him. Warren Golston then writes, I appreciate the overwhelming support and phone calls while I navigate the hornet's nest I just blasted. I've been told I just committed career suicide, but at this point I'm looking out for other people. Stress has taken 2 extremely close sailors' lives as a result of S-word, and I was just talking to someone else who experienced S-ideation as a result of this new recruiting instruction. I care about people. I love the art of recruiting, not the politics. We meme and edgelord and do all kinds of dysfunctional S in here, and it's why I love you all. If they rake me over the coals for this, I'll only come out the other side stronger, but it isn't about me, it's about us all. And if you see here, there are 614 other people that did like what he posted. And I have to say that I am deeply saddened by the fact that Warren Golston had to write about this, because the fact is, like, why does he have to, I guess, murder his own career, which as an FC fire controlman, they do advance pretty well, to possibly be raked over the coals. He did not blast this out on social media. Other people did, kind of saying that he's a hero, right? Like, he did this behind private doors, private matters, and essentially did it in a tactful manner. And I hope that the leadership over at Navy Recruiting Command does not come after him because of that. I don't see anything wrong with an open door policy, anything wrong with asking appropriate questions, and also anything wrong with trying to find solutions that are sometimes at the lower level. And I say that because if you look at the Navy Recruiting Life Instagram page, there are people on there that are being blasted and being destroyed because of the fact that they liked a meme or they followed this meme page and getting in trouble for it. I just find this insanity that we are having a witch hunt within Navy Recruiting Command if that is the case. And I hope that this person that was just trying to do right and actually advocate for other sailors and peers is not going to be subject to some kind of crucifixion of their own career because they did so. But as always, this topic is going to continue to formulate and be discussed over the next God knows how long until recruiting can get better, and I hope that we find more tactful solutions. I have ideas. I think this recruiter had great ideas, and if you have ideas, I want to hear what those are down in the comments below, because I think that's where the discussion continues, and hopefully maybe some of these that you guys say can be put into effect by Navy Recruiting Command if you guys have better ideas, and you guys can be heard here, or you can even write to these people over at Navy Recruiting Command or whatever else to try and get your ideas heard over there. Please hit me up over on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, TikTok, or down in the comments below if you love what we talk about on this channel. As always, I love you guys. I'll see you next time.